Welcome to Resili Dream, where we ignite the fire of God's love in your heart and fuel your passion for life. Today, we're diving deep into a profound truth that has the power to revolutionize your existence. Have you ever felt a spark within you, an inexplicable energy that makes you feel truly alive? That, my dear friends, is the language of the Lord, and it's time we embrace it with open arms and eager hearts. Imagine for a moment a flame burning bright within your soul. This isn't just any flame. It's the very essence of who you are, the core of your being. This fire is what drives you forward when the world seems to be pushing you back. It's what brings a smile to your face in the darkest of times. What gives you hope when all seems lost. It's the passion that fuels your dreams and the energy that propels you towards your destiny. You see, this fire, this passion, it's not just good. It's divine. It's a gift from God Himself, tailored specifically for you. And here's the beautiful truth that I want you to grasp with every fiber of your being. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are a masterpiece, crafted with intention and love by the Creator of the universe. In Jeremiah 1 verse 5, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Before you were born I set you apart." Let that sink in for a moment. Before you took your first breath, God knew you. He knew your strengths, your weaknesses, your dreams, and yes, even your struggles. And He loved you then, just as He loves you now, with an everlasting love that knows no bounds. But how do we find this fire? How do we tap into this divine passion that God has placed within us? It's simpler than you might think. Pay attention to what sparks joy in your heart. What activities make you lose track of time? What topics light up your eyes when you talk about them? These are not random occurrences. They're clues to your divine purpose, breadcrumbs left by God to lead you to your destiny. Romans 11 verse 29 tells us, "For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable." This means that the passions and talents God has given you are not accidents or fleeting whims. They're intentional gifts meant to guide you towards your purpose. They're the tools God has equipped you with to fulfill your unique role in His grand design. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I don't feel that fire right now. I feel lost, disconnected, maybe even abandoned. If that's you, I want you to listen closely because this message is especially for you. Sometimes, the embers of our passion need a little stirring. Sometimes, the noise of the world drowns out the whisper of God's voice. But that doesn't mean the fire is gone or that God has forgotten you. Romans 8 verse 30 reminds us, "And those whom He predestined He also called, and those whom He called He also justified, and those whom He justified He also glorified." God is constantly working in your life, even when you can't see it or feel it. He's calling you, justifying you, and yes, glorifying you. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. Let's take a moment to reflect on Genesis 3 verses 1 to 10. After Adam and Eve sinned, they hid from God, ashamed and afraid. But what did God do? He called out to them, saying, "Where are you?" Now, God wasn't asking because He didn't know their location. He was inviting them back into relationship with Him. He was extending grace, even in the face of their disobedience. In the same way, God is calling out to you today. He's inviting you to reconnect with your passion and purpose. He's asking, "Where are you?" Not to condemn you, but to draw you back to Him, to reignite the fire He placed within you. In the same way, God is calling out to you today. He's inviting you to reconnect with your passion and purpose. He's asking, "Where are you?" Not to condemn you, but to draw you back to Him, to reignite the fire He placed within you. So how do we respond to this call? How do we fan the flames of our passion when we feel cold and disconnected? Here are some practical ways to reignite that fire. Listen to music that uplifts your spirit. Music has a unique way of touching our souls. Find songs that speak to your heart, that remind you of God's love and your purpose. Spend time in nature. Go for a walk in the park, sit by the ocean, or gaze at the stars. God's creation has a way of reminding us of His majesty and our place in His grand design. Practice gratitude daily. Start each day by listing 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. The warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, a good cup of coffee. Gratitude opens our eyes to God's blessings and fuels our passion. Engage in silent prayer. Take time each day to sit in silence, listening for God's voice. It might feel awkward at first, but as you practice, you'll begin to discern His gentle whispers. Serve others. There's something powerful about allowing God's love to flow through us to others. Find ways to serve in your community, your church, or even in your own home. Read inspiring stories. Surround yourself with tales of faith, perseverance, and triumph. These stories can reignite your own passion and remind you of what's possible with God. Try new things. Sometimes, we discover our passion in unexpected places. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and try new activities or hobbies. Remember, what we focus on expands. So let's focus on the good, on the blessings that surround us every day. The air we breathe, the sun that warms our skin, the kindness of a stranger. These are all reminders of God's love for us. They're fuel for our fire, sparks that can reignite our passion. You are special. You are unique. God has plans for you that are beyond your wildest dreams. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 assures us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." God's plans for you are good. They're filled with hope and promise. But here's the thing. You have a role to play in this too. You need to step out in faith, to take action, to pursue the passions God has placed in your heart. It might be scary. It might feel uncertain. But remember, God doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. He will provide everything you need to fulfill your purpose. If you're feeling stuck, if you can't seem to find your fire, don't despair. Sometimes, we need to create space in our lives to hear God's voice and feel His presence. Here are some additional ways to connect with God and discover your passion. Journal your thoughts and prayers. Writing can be a powerful way to process your emotions and hear God's voice. Fast from distractions. Consider taking a break from social media, television, or other distractions that might be drowning out God's voice. Seek wise counsel. Talk to a pastor, a trusted friend, or a mentor. Sometimes, others can see the gifts and passions in us that we can't see ourselves. Reflect on your life story. Look back on your life. What moments stand out? What experiences have shaped you? God often uses our past to prepare us for our future. Pay attention to your dreams. Both your nighttime dreams and your daytime aspirations can be ways God speaks to us about our purpose. Remember, finding your fire, your God-given passion, is a journey. It's not always a straight path, and that's okay. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, encouraging you, and yes, sometimes carrying you when the path gets tough. As we wrap up, I want to encourage you to take a moment right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask God to reveal your fire. Trust that He will answer, because He loves you more than you can imagine. He is faithful, and He will complete the good work He has started in you. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece, created with intention and love. Your passions are not random. They're divine clues to your purpose. Your struggles are not the end of your story. They're the backdrop for God's redemptive work in your life. So go forth with confidence. Embrace the fire God has placed within you. Let it warm you, guide you, and light the way for others. You have a unique role to play in God's kingdom, a specific purpose that only you can fulfill. And remember, when the fire seems dim, when you feel lost or confused, return to the source. Return to God. He is always there, arms open wide, ready to reignite your passion and set your heart ablaze once more. If this message has touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to Resili Dream, and share it with someone who needs to hear this truth today. Together, let's spread the fire of God's love and ignite a passion for purpose in every heart. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment when God spoke to you? How do you connect with God and ignite that fire or passion within your heart? Please share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences might inspire someone else on their journey. May you go forth with a heart full of fire, a spirit full of passion, and a life full of purpose. Until next time, this is Resili Dream, reminding you that you are loved, you are valued, and you are called to greatness. God bless.